Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I've travelled half the way around the world, and that is to New Zealand, and I've found a civilian ration called Go Native. Now this is a 24-hour pack containing breakfast, lunch and dinner. So let's get this on a table and see what this pack contains. So as you can see, I have here on the table this New Zealand Go Native 24-hour food pack. Now I believe this is a civilian ration designed for people that are adventurous and go out on a lot of adventures, hiking, mountaineering, that sort of thing. It says contains a breakfast, lunch and dinner. Comes in an impressive looking Ziploc bag with a whole list of contents and suggestions for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So looks like there's a little tear strip there at the top. First I've seen one of these, so we'll just give that a try and see what this pack actually contains. Now it's opened up at the back there, so it's resealable. We have an impressive set of contents. They are packed in nice and tight, so I'll just pull them out to one side. A little bit tricky getting them out of this bag. Okay, quite difficult getting them out of the bag. Everything is getting stuck in the lip there. It looks like they have some Sudoku to play on the inside. Let's see if I can get this out. Okay, so there is meal heating instructions, a little quiz and some Sudoku, so something to do while you're in your tent at night in the evening. The Ziploc bag is quite a difficult one to handle, but let's move that to one side and let's see what we've actually got. So we have a bean bag for coffee, so a coffee bag. There is a raspberry and apple fruit bar. We have a natural muesli with milk powder. We have the ready-made meal, and this one is beef casserole. I don't know if you can see that there with the reflection. I have a salsa verde tuna, so a nice little pack of tuna there. We also have some very smashed cream cracker biscuits. I can feel them, they already feel that they're smashed. We have an instant mashed potato, obviously to go with the stew, so stew and mash. We have 2 dairy creamers, or non-dairy creamers. We have a classic blend tea. There is a South Pacific sea salt, We have 2 sugars, some cracked pepper, so salt and pepper, and a teriyaki steak bar or jerky bar by Jack Links. So this is the contents of this 3-meal 24-hour New Zealand ration pack. So let's get these on a tray and see what they look and taste like. So as you can see, I now have the very simplistic breakfast portion of this Go Native New Zealand ration out on a tray, and for the breakfast it suggests the natural muesli. There is a coffee bag, which is ground coffee in a bag, which should be nice, sugar, whitener and a very simple raspberry and apple fruit bar. So let's start where I like. Starts with the beverages. We have this Jed's Coffee Company bean bag. It says it's a filter type coffee in a bag, so I'll just bring in a little knife there to help open that. Very slidey packaging and lovely smell of coffee there. Nice looking bag, filter bag. Now I've read the instructions. It does say add hot water, squeeze the bag, Then give it 2 or 3 minutes and squeeze the bag a second time before taking it out. So I'll follow the instructions as per instructions. I'll give it 3/4 of a mug because this is supposed to be a filter coffee, so hopefully it's got the strength. It did say squeeze the bag, then let it sit and do its thing. Just use the USMRE spoon there. This ration didn't come with any spoons. And while that's doing its thing, we'll take a look at this natural muesli with milk powder, and it just says add cold water to desired consistency. So we'll just put that in a little bowl there. Now it looks like there's pumpkin seeds in there. There is pumpkin seeds. It looks like there's a little bit of fruit pieces. Just use the spoon here. A few nuts and raisins. So a nice looking muesli. And it just says add cold water. So just mix a little bit in there. Give it a mix. Now that water has just come straight out of the fridge. Probably a little bit cool for me. So I'm going to add a little touch of warm as well, hot, just to take that chill off it. And it says give it a mix to its own consistency, to your desired consistency. So I'll just give that a little mix there, and while that's doing its thing, I shall have a look at the raspberry and apple fruit bar. Again, tough packaging, nice little jellified raspberry and apple bar there. So I think I'm going to have to bring in another spoon I have waiting there, because I now have muesli all over this, and we'll just give this coffee another squeeze. It's had a couple of minutes like it said. A bit of a mess there, try not to get it everywhere. Let's just move that bag out of the way. Okay, so before I add the sugar, we'll take a little look at that coffee there. I seem to have spilt it everywhere. Messy making it with a bag. Good quality. Does seem like a filter coffee. Decent coffee at last. We shall add the sugar. It's a medium roast coffee. It's not bitter. Doesn't really necessarily need the sugar. But I do actually like sugar in my coffee. And we'll also add the whitener. So it's a nice, decent, medium roast filter coffee. We'll just give it the addition of some sugar and whitener. So it still looks pretty dark. Give that another taste. Good, decent tasting. The addition of the sugar, for my own personal taste, helped it even better. No bitterness, no sourness. Good, decent coffee for once in a ration. A nice filter style coffee. So, quick look at this muesli. It's had a couple of minutes to soak up its water and do its thing. So there is pumpkin seeds, you can see raisins, there's little bits of mixed fruit. So I'll just have a little taste of that. Flavoursome, sweet. There's the addition of sugar in there. Little bits of fruit, nuts, raisins. Good quality grains. They don't seem like they're raw. They don't seem like they're eating raw oats, although obviously you probably are. But what I mean by that is they're soft, they're chewable, they're not hard. Nice, decent muesli. Most people around the world would find that most enjoyable. We'll take a look at the raspberry and apple bar. It's soft, it breaks apart nice and easy. A little bit rubbery in texture. Chewy, sticky, strong raspberry flavour, actually tastes artificial raspberry. Sticks to your teeth, sticks to the roof of your mouth, but a nice, sweet, flavourful piece of raspberry. Nice, tasty, energy rich little energy bar. So, very simplistic breakfast. Filter coffee, a nice, decent, medium roast filter coffee, which actually does taste like a filter coffee, a good coffee. The muesli, nice soft grains, lots of pumpkin seeds, lots of mixed fruits, some currants or raisins there, not slightly sweetened, nice mix of milk and sugar, and the raspberry and apple bar. It's like a jellified fruit bar. Very tasty of raspberry. It does taste a little bit artificial raspberry, but a nice extra energy boost for the breakfast. So I'm going to leave that there and join me in a few moments for the lunch or midday meal. Bye for now. And welcome back to this lunch portion of this New Zealand Go Native 24-hour ration. And for the lunch component, it suggests the salsa verde tuna. We have a steak bar, teriyaki by Jack Links, and we have some biscuits or crackers, cream crackers. So again, very simplistic looking meal. So I think we'll start with the crackers. Now we do have cream crackers here in the UK. Be interesting to see if they're the same. A little bit of trouble opening that packet there, so I'll just bring in the knife again just to help open them. And it does look like there's a little bit of battle damage going on, and they look very reminiscent of the British cream cracker that we have here in the UK. So there should be, I think, 4 crackers. One is just turned into a pile of crumbs, but we have three good ones and a pile of crumbs. So now we'll have a look at this salsa verde tuna. So a tuna dish, a very light dish again for a meal. It's looking very moist, very wet, so I think just to help me clean up again, I'm going to just pour this into a bowl this time. So you can see a very moist looking tuna dish, and we'll bring in this US MRE spoon once again to help with the eating of that. Now there's a small reasonable amount there, not a great deal, and we'll have a look at the Jack Links steak bar, peppered steak bar flavour, teriyaki flavour, sorry. And again, giving me lots of difficulty, these packagings, they're all commercial style packaging. Bring that knife in once again. So here's a typical looking sort of jerky steak bar idea going on there. So we'll have a look at the crackers first. These do look like a cream cracker we have here in the UK. They're light and they're crisp. Let's have a nice and fresh. Very simplistic wheat cracker, slightly salted. A good quality cracker that we have here commercially in bigger packets, much bigger packets. They are just a standard cream cracker biscuit. We normally put butter on them and cheese and all that sort of thing, or pate. So let's try a little bit of the tuna verde. It's tuna, capers, mixed herbs. I can taste a little bit of mustard in there. There's a slight mustard hint. I think there's some green pepper, slight vinaigrette flavouring as well. It's nice, it's mild, slight hint of mustard. Good tuna. Try a little bit there on the cracker. Go exceptionally well together. Obviously designed to go on the cracker or a piece of bread, hot buttered toast, something like that would go nice with this. Simple, light, tasty, mixed of herbs. I think I can also taste mint. There's a taste of mint in there as well. One of the herbs is definitely mint. Light, refreshing, tasty, nice tuna dish. And take a look at the Jack Link's steak bar. Typical sort of steak bar, jerky texture, breaks nice and easy. Quite firm, quite chewy. It's called a teriyaki flavour. Actually tastes very similar to a barbecue, but there is a teriyaki sort of background hint there. But I would say predominantly a barbecue style flavour, like a barbecue sauce. Chewy, tasty, filling, typical sort of jerky, but a nice quality one. No drink suggestion for the lunch, so I'll just have some plain water just to cleanse my palate. So the lunch, very simplistic, very easy going. Some cream crackers, standard sort of cream crackers we have here in the UK and obviously in New Zealand. They are a light, crisp wheat cracker, slightly salted, great base for putting many toppings on. The salsa verde tuna, it's fresh, it's moist, there is capers, there is peppers, there is herbs. One of the herbs is definitely mint. I can taste mustard in there, so a little bit of mustard kick, a little bit of vinegar, vinaigrette style taste. So all in all, a very tasty, flavoursome little bit of tuna. And the Jack Link steak bar, teriyaki flavour, more pronounced the barbecue with a hint of teriyaki, I would say, but still a good quality meat piece of jerky. So that's the simplistic lunch out of the way. So join me in a few more minutes for the evening meal or dinner. And welcome back once more to this final meal, the dinner or evening meal of this 24-hour ration. And for the evening meal we have a very simplistic, again, instant mashed potatoes. There is a beef stew and a tea, whitener and sugar. So we'll start off, well I like to, with the teas, the beverage, simple style tea bag, sort of commercial tea bag it gets everywhere. And again we'll just give that some boiling water, give it a couple of minutes to do its thing. The next thing that's going to need a little bit of preparation is this instant mashed potato. It does ask for 250 millilitres or 1 cup of boiling water, so a nice little tear pouch. So we'll just open this on the tear slits there, try not to spill the powder everywhere. And typical instant style mashed potato, it does say add it to the water to the pouch, so I have 250 millilitres of hot water, boiling water already poured out there. I'll just add that. I'll hold a little bit of it back at this stage because as you know these things often overestimate the water and I don't want a packet of soup, so I'll just give that a good old mix round. And I think I did right holding some of that water back, and what I'll do is I'll pour it into this basin, this bowl here, so we can have a better look, see what's going on. Sticking to the pack, not the easiest to get out. It might have been easier to have just put this in the bowl in the first instance. Make sure we'll get it all out there. Okay, so it's now constituted nicely. I think we probably could add a little bit more of this water. Does seem a little bit dry. Give that another mix in. And again, mashed potato looks like with some herbs or onion pieces. We'll just leave that there for a moment to do its thing. And we'll have a look at the beef stew, product of New Zealand. And Again, this has been boiled in water. It's had about 6-7 minutes boiling in a pan of hot water as per instructions. Nice looking stew there, and smell coming from that. That's slightly curry, I would say, which is unusual for a stew. Now I think I'm going to need to bring back in the MRE spoon again because I have potato all over that one. And we'll just give this a little bit of agitation. Bring the bag out now, and we'll add the whitener as seen in the breakfast and the sugar sachet. And again, we'll give that a stir. Just move this water out of the way. Okay, so we do have salt and cracked black pepper if needed. We'll start off with the tea, medium looking tea in strength. Actually, it's quite disappointing. As a tea, it's quite disappointing. Quite weak, quite mild. It did have about 3 minutes of stewing and it's still quite weak. Recognisable as a hot tea, but not a good quality tea by any means. It is what it is. It's a tea, but only just. Not one of the best teas I've tried. I think we should start off with the mashed potato. Have a little bit of the mash there. So nice creamy looking mash. A few little flecks of green herb. I think the green herb is chives. It's typical instant mashed potato, good quality, slightly over salted as all of these instant mashes are. Creamy. I get the impression there might be some butter in there or cream in there. Certainly the herbs, good quality herbs, very tasty, very enjoyable. Smooth, reconstituted nicely. A nice all round buttery mash. And the stew. See carrots in there, potatoes in there, beef in there. Let's have a taste of the beef in the gravy. There was a little bit of background heat. It's a beef stew, but I believe there's a hint of curry powder in there maybe. There's a little bit of background heat there and a curry smell. So it's a beef stew with a curry hint. Nicely salted, nicely peppered. Don't need any more salt or pepper, just enough to flavour nicely. Obviously, stew and mash, that's the way it should be eaten. Enjoyable, tasty, good combination. Creamy mashed potatoes with beef stew. The stew does have a curry flavour, which is unusual for my taste buds, but still enjoyable. Nice, enjoyable, filling evening meal. Little drink of the tea again. Oh, disappointing. Recap: the tea, disappointing, cheap, commercial, not of good quality, but it is a hot tea flavoured drink, just not a good quality one. The beef stew, nice, rich, thick, potatoes, vegetables, just cooked correctly. The beef breaks apart in your mouth, soft, no teeth needed to eat that beef. There is a slight curry undertone, overtone to that stew, but still enjoyable. And the mash, creamy, reconstituted nicely. You can taste the little bit of green, I think it's chives, it's like an oniony sort of flavour in there. Creamy, rich, filling, enjoyable. So overall, that was the contents of this New Zealand Go Native 24-hour food pack. It was a little bit light on components. I think you would need to add some extras, some energy bars or some biscuits or something to help boost up each of those meals. There was also only 2 hot drinks, no cold drinks. So just about sustainable for 24-hour period. That said, I think it would have been better with a few more additions of some extra energy bars. But nice, tasty, enjoyable. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.